Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Cunningham, a psychologist at the Bright Light Psychology Clinic and a associate professor in the teaching stream at the University of Toronto. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the use of artificial intelligence and being able to how to support students with learning challenges. Now, for most of us, we kind of feel like artificial intelligence came around 2022. But in fact, artificial intelligence has been in our education system for quite some time. Actually, the first kind of mentions and thoughts of artificial intelligence go back to about 1970 in terms of the actual field beginning to develop. But AI, even in the last 10, 15 years, has actually been very prevalent in a lot of our day to day lives. For example, several years ago, my youngest, when she was about 2.5, was in a period where she was really obsessed with her birthday, constantly asking us, when is her birthday? When is my birthday? When is my birthday? How many more days till my birthday? And after a bit, from a parent's perspective, we kind of got a little bit, annoyed. So we told her, we've already told you. Well, after being told that one day, she took it upon herself to solve this problem. And she went over to where we had our new Google Mini and it was on top of the piano. And she stood up on her tippy toes and grabbed the top and pulled herself as close as she could and said those magical words and said, when is, or how many more days until the date to her birthday? And she waited a couple of seconds and it said 143. And you could see in the moment this wonderful ah, oh my goodness, I have the answer. I know what this is. I've got the answer to my problem. And then in another moment, you kind of saw the sense of almost confusion and almost dread. And then she stood back up on her tippy toes again and said, is that a long time from now? She didn't have a concept of quantity. So she didn't know how many days 142 was, if it was a lot or a little. AI is kind of like that. We need to know how to use it effectively. It can give us a lot of information, but unless we kind of understand what it's doing and have some background in these areas, we wouldn't be able to use it effectively. Now, a lot of this AI stuff has become a little bit magical, and people are quite worried about it. In fact, often when we are fearful of something in education, we either kind of try to run away from it, or we try to just block it altogether. Just don't want to use it. We kind of see this back in the early adoptions of the internet in education. Back in 1993, SchoolNet was launched. It was a federally funded program where we were trying to connect all the high schools across Canada onto the internet. Um, and I remember a couple years ago hearing a principal talk about his experiences, kind of getting his school wired up in 1993. As the story he told stated was that in the summer before the school was to come online, it was a very exciting time. They had gone the internet run into the school. They had developed a new computer lab that was all connected to the internet, and he pulled together the parents council meeting to really tell them about how wonderful this new technology is. And as he was talking about this new technology, one of the parents put up their hand and said, what are you going to do about all the porn? And he's like, oh, don't worry, don't worry. We have the best filters out there. We have the best filters. Your kids are safe. Okay. The next morning he goes into his ID department and says, how are our filters? Are we going to keep out the porn? And the IT department's like, yes, it's all going to be fine. We're good. We've got the best filters. And it's like, oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, a couple months later, as the story goes, he stated that he went back to his IT department to check in on them. So he's like, so how's it going? Are we keeping out the porn? And the IT department's like, well, no, we're not. However, there is an upside. The student's German has improved significantly over the last 2 months. All the filters were in English and not in German. So students often we put blocks up, students figure it out. I remember another example not too long ago. one of my friends who taught grade 4 on a rainy day. The students had to stay inside. A bunch of them wanted to watch YouTube, but YouTube was blocked by the school at the time. And so they were able to figure out how to hop onto the house across the yard from them. It was close enough that they could grab their Wi-Fi signal from that house and be able to connect in. Students figure out ways to be able to get around these barriers. And when it comes to AI, as of October 2023, AI has just blown up across the board. So one of the first big metrics to try and understand how fast something is becoming mainstream is to look at how long it takes an app to get to 1 million subscribers. Kind of the first benchmark that's being looked out there. Netflix, that wonderful video streaming program, it took about 3.5 years to be able to get to 1 million subscribers. Dropbox, something I love, took 7 months. Chat GPT, which is really the currently the big AI program app out there, 5 days. So quickly hit it. The next big benchmark is 100 million users on and again, Google Translate, 78 months to get there. Instagram, 30 months to get there. TikTok took 9 months. ChatGPT took 2 months. So this technology is everywhere. It is prevalent all over the place. And the worry, I think, for many educators around this prevalency is that students are just going to be able to go in and write in a command such as write me an 800 word argumented essay on why it's essential for students with learning disabilities to use assistive technology to access the curriculum, and voila, it's there. It's actually an article that was just written by AI a bit ago. And when you read this, it's actually a really well written article. It's about a first year university student's, kind of a B+ article. It's fairly well done. And what's really interesting about this article is it hits on all the surface level. It doesn't go in deep depth into any of the big ideas, but it hits on all the basic ideas. So for anything around high school, it would probably be able to cover off those topics because it definitely gets a first year university pass in my books. But that's okay because, hey, if the students are going to be using this, us teachers, why can't we start using this? And sure enough, you can use a command. So I want you to write a critique on this essay. First, look at the quality of the writing. Use the grade 10 Ontario literacy standards as your guide for this critique. Second, I want you to critique the content and ideas in the essay. Provide a succinct summary written as if you were the student's teacher. And voila, it's going to go through and execute all that and give a very nice critique on what's going on. So the technology here is just really exploding. So the worry is that it's going to just do the work and students don't have to think or learn anymore, that artificial intelligence is just going to do it. And that's why I think a lot of educators are saying, we need to block this, we need to block it. Boards are putting blocks up. But again, as I said earlier, students figure out how to work around this stuff. Back in August of 2023, we did a look and there was almost 30 apps designated just to education that were AI infused, that used AI. So the ability to just block this stuff, I don't think is realistic. It's not going to go away. We can't hide it. It is here. Now, as educators and as parents, we really have to start to teach our students how to use this technology effectively for ensuring that it is able to enable them to learn more efficiently, more independently, but not just do the work for them.